doing the research.
Oh, since you brought it up, I'd like to make a public apology to Mr. Peter Rosenberg. He's very good on Evolve.
Yeah,
he's good. Well, it's actually good. It's actually good. Him and oh god, I forgot his name.
Yeah, he's not bad. It's look, I feel like the comparisons are always him and Sam Roberts, and well, I mean they're weirdos from New York that love wrestling and have podcasts. They're very similar in aesthetic, you know.
Who's the dude his team with on Evolve, Jake? I forgot.
Stone,
Robert Stone. That's it.
Yeah, well, thank you.
They're actually very good.
I wasn't thinking Robert. I was thinking the Mr. part for Mr. Yes, no, they are pretty good.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the second episode of Evolve yet. I need to. I literally have Tubi up on my TV. No, that's good. I enjoy it.
It's worth it.
I have to say,
yeah. Well, especially that it's free. It's definitely worth it.
I have to say this about Evolve. Like, Zeta Steel is going to be the next up-and-coming character worker in women's wrestling coming up through NXT. Like, just from what I've seen of her, like, indie clips and what I saw in Evolve, Jesus, I was fucking rolling. She's hilarious.
It seems like, I mean, the thing is now, too, it's like they play to people's strength. Like, they don't, well, you look like this, so you should be this. Like, it's like Myles Borne. Like, he happens to be hilarious, so they're letting him be hilarious. Like, that dude's got a great sense of humor and has no problem making fun of him for being deaf. So he just takes that away from anybody who tries to make fun of him for it and plays it back. And he's just that guy needs to be pushed to the moon. I love that guy.
Let's play the AltJake drinking game where he mentions Myles Borne like 500 times in a podcast.
Now, having been with him throughout these, this is the first time I've ever heard him mention it. Am I right?
I mentioned it more into my retweets because the guy's got a great Twitter game. The guy's hilarious.
You mentioned it a few times on the Revolution spaces.
I don't remember that.
That might have happened. Yeah, that was a long show.
we were that show.
He looks so much like Kyle Fletcher, but not a douchebag.
Well, to be fair, and I don't remember who made this point. Maybe it was you, Jake. But I mean, he is 27, 28, so he has time to, learn out of bad habits,
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, I mean, if all else fails, he can,
he's got himself in tremendous shape, guys. Tremendous shape. He looks solid, Belcher.
Oh yeah, he does. And you know what? If he needs to pull a Matt Cardona and work the indies for a while and kind of watch his wife get a little more popular than him, that's fine.
It ain't gonna happen.
Oh, hey, Marie.
That ain't gonna happen. He'll be with AEW for a while, and when his contract's done, WWE might have some NXT for him, I think, but we'll see.
Who's his wife?
Sky Blue. I mean,
girlfriend. Right. Yeah. No. Yep. Nope. That was brought up by that time of the show. I was a little bit toasty in Minecraft by then. It was a long pay-per-view, man. It's a long show.
I was just overwhelmed because everyone kind of started talking over each other at that point.
That was probably the end of the show. We all got a little too excited.
Well, that and the thing is we all knew the cage match should have been the end of it, and we're just trying to avoid having to talk about that main event. Like that was, I knew it was going to happen, but it was worse than we all thought. It was so bad.
I've been anti Moxie for at least 4 years at this point. It just further solidified why I personally and I think I forgot who put the clip of Moxley doing the stomp earlier today, but I think I commented, "Oh my God, I forgot for every horrible word I've ever said." And that was fucking terrible.
I mean, Jake and I were talking off air a little bit before, and we were trying to figure out where they're going with this, because not only was the main event so bad, they're going to bring it back on Wednesday.
They really are,
man.
That's the main event for Wednesday's show. The winner gets to face
2 weeks after having it as the main event of a pay-per-view.
The winner gets to face Soares Strickland, which again is backwards, but whatever.
Well, which is the second time they've done that.
More than that.
So
let's done things backwards.
Let's have a tournament for the guy who's not the title holder.
So it's holding a tournament to see who will just lose to Kenny Omega.
That's what it comes down to.
Oh, they bring Speedball Mike Bailey in, and they're like, "Guess what? We're gonna have you win this battle royal to enter this tournament to lose to Kenny Omega anyway." It's just so bad.
Which is their second terrible debut in a month because they debuted Gabe Kidd on a taped collision, not a regular one. Not that anyone would watch a regular one anyway, but a taped one.
And now
I get a pain behind my eye.
Jeff Cobb, WWE bound? Question mark?
Ooh,
Question mark?
Maybe.
Is Marie active?
I mean,
Is Marie active to talk?
I think he would be good.
Jake.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Is Marie active to talk? Where'd she go?
She's got. I put her on there.
I'm
She's got.
here. I'm here. I'm just having dinner and listening.
I was going to ask your
good.
Jeff Cobb opinion.
Well, Jeff Cobb said himself during his backstage interview that he was like, he woke up to all of the rumors, and he said it's not true, that the true thing is that he's standing right there in Osaka. So I don't know, take it for what you will. But with his frustrations over the last, couple of years, I honestly, my opinion, I really do think that he should go to WWE. But yeah, just based on all the frustrations, maybe he does. But I don't have like a definitive answer. But like, everything can point to maybe WWE. But right now, he's focusing on the New Japan Cup, which I don't even know. He didn't go over because freaking Shota won, I believe. But yeah, that's all I know.
All right. Thank you.
all right, thanks, man.
No worries.
With his age, yeah, thank you. That's that. Any information we can have is helpful because you could never rely on any reports because basically the reports is he's at the PC right now is essentially what they're trying to tell us, and he's in Japan. Like, mother, I think he'd be good in WWE. I think it'd be hard for him because he'd have to come in and establish himself, which he'd probably have to do through NXT. And at his age, might be better to go to TNA first, but.
Wait, I'm gonna jump in because I don't think Jeff Cobb doesn't need to go to NXT. I could just see him be on the main roster and do similar things to what Bronson Reed does on the main roster as being that big guy. However,
just murk people. I like it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, come on. He has this like swinging like side slam called the Tour of the Islands, and I love that move. If I ever work up the nerve, I probably work up the nerve and be like, "Yo, can I take that move? I'll take that move. I'll take the bump." Yeah, I don't see him starting on the NXT. He already has a established profile anyway. Even if people are gonna be like, "Who's this?" You still know who he is. But I don't
put him
mind
over people. Absolutely, yeah. If you just put him over the right people at the right, and even if people didn't know who Jacob Fatu was, they knew in a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, they did.
Hard to book people properly. Yeah,
exactly. But I don't mind. Jeff Cobb to like, if he needs to go to NXT for like, showing some of the younger guys how to be a big man, because like,
yes.
There's a way to present yourself as a big man that you don't really need to do cruiserweight high flyer stuff. You don't really need to do that all the time. That's why whenever like Jeff Cobb pops out a standing moonsault, it looks so freaking beautiful that this guy could do that. The same way where like Jacob could do like the freaking moonsaults and like fly all over the ring. Like there's a certain art to being a big guy,
No,
Same
absolutely.
Same with Zilla.
Yeah, no, and what's the other Hikuleo too? No, there's something to be said for the presentation of a big man. Like you don't need to only be a giant or hey, I can do all this stuff, so I'm gonna do it. Like there's a level. There's a mix.
Plus, I'd assume that he have to get used to the WWE with things of action and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's not gonna take too long. He's a professional. He's been doing it
right.
for a while.
Yeah, no, and it's something too where as long as he wants to do, that's the thing. If you want to do it and are willing to listen and learn, they'll coach you up properly right away. I mean, they've shown that they're willing to put people over and do if you're willing to do the right stuff. I mean, again, Jacob Fatu is the prime example. Everybody was worried about his past and who he was, and it's like who you are now. Go put in the work. Don't be an asshole. Hey, look, you're the most over guy on SmackDown.
Well, who was the last Samoan the WWE turned down? Like, think of it. Think about it. Like, or the last one that truly didn't work out. Maybe that was one of the Tongans, or I don't know.
Manu didn't work out. That's the last one I can say for sure.
Or
Sam Snooker, Jimmy Snooker.
Oh, was he Deuce or Domino?
You mean his sons?
Yeah. Saul, yes.
Oh, son, Domino.
Yeah.
Domino. Okay, yeah. I knew
That was a
That's
bad
one of those things I
gimmick,
didn't find. You
though.
don't find
That
out
was a
till
bad
later, and you're like,
gimmick.
wait, that was one of Jimmy Snuka's sons? Oh God.
That was a bad gimmick. That was
Yeah. and then got worse when one of them got hurt. So no, that was real bad.
Yeah, let's make these Samoan.
Well, and then Manu was supposed to be part of Legacy and be in Randy Orton saying he never looked like he fit in. Like the three of them were cut and fit, and he had the big Samoan look, but that was just never going to work in Legacy.
What about Tonga really had a bad go of it.
Yeah, but really, okay, so people who pay more attention and care more like we do notice the audience, like the casual fans or the people that pay and watch and go, they didn't care. They looked at him like, you know what I mean, like that big of a deal.
Isn't he on the cover of the game?
Well, yeah, no,
Yeah,
I think he's on 2 covers because then they do
having a bad time.
Yeah, he's having a bad time all the way to the bank. I feel like he's doing all right.
Well, he doesn't have anyway. But,
no, he does
Oh
not.
my God.
I mean, you got to give credit to that family that can have, 2 guys with just making a noise that's gotten over and is their catchphrase. It's pretty impressive. You got to be super charismatic to get those things over.
I mean, Tama kind of sort of started the whole yeah thing in New Japan, just a tiny bit.
Well, yeah, I feel like I saw he did because I know they do the the press conferences after the matches and stuff, and I feel like he did one in one of those that I saw.
Yeah, he probably did when he was a heel.
Yeah, just really quick, as he was yelling at something, he was yelling at other stuff, and one point in the middle, just yeah. Oh, hey, that worked.
Of the 2, though, I've always liked Tama more just because he comes off as so damn menacing.
Yeah. Well, and because he's a little bit smaller, but hangs out with the group, everybody knows that crew that's got the time. There's the one short guy in the group, but that's the guy you don't want to mess with. You might be able to take him down, but you're gonna be messed up from it. He's just gonna keep swinging until you knock him the fuck out. I can remember my friends in high school, our buddy Kyle. We loved him, but he would always be the one. Oh God damn it, Kyle, starting shit. And he'd be he's the smallest guy, and he'd go and find the big one, just throw a punch. God damn it, Kyle.
He's the proverbial Perry Saturn of the group.
Yeah, but it took a lot to take him down, though. He was, he was our scrappy dude, just.
There's a dark side of the ring topic that would be interesting. The entering the mind of Perry Saturn. Just saying.
I'm surprised they haven't done one of those yet because he's had some dark years, and I mean, anybody who gets a face tattoo like that, there's a story there.
Well, I mean, I don't know who had it worse, or John Cronin.
Well, and speaking of the dark side, I think it was last season they were competing at the same time frame with A&E biographies, and Dark Side crushed A&E biographies on those. So is it something where the new season of biographies on Legends is going to come after Dark Side? I know they haven't announced it yet, and I know they're going to do more. They've got there's a million they can do.
Dark Side comes on Thursdays, I thought, right?
It's Tuesdays. I'm just meaning in general. They
I know what you're talking about.
On the same day. I just know they ran at the same time. No, it's Tuesday the 25th is the premiere. I have it written down on my calendar because there's very few TV shows that I'm locked in for, but that one is.
Are they still at 10 o'clock Eastern, or are they down to 9?
I believe it's still 10 o'clock Eastern,
Yeah.
but being on the Pacific time at 7 o'clock for me, I can live.
You mean 8 Central?
No, it'd be 8 Mountain Time, be 9 o'clock Central. I'm at Pacific time now. I was in Mountain Time 2 weeks ago. We Arizona doesn't switch. We don't change our clocks. We change our time zone.
I hate